Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine...
I don't care whether you eat with your hands or your feet or at the back of someone's ass. I don't care about that. There's nothing to be proud of your backwardness. Your ancestors ate with their hands because they could not afford cutlery. People are saying, oh, you eat burgers with your hands. You eat fries with your hands. Did you see his hands? They're all sticky. There's rice sticking everywhere. And we are expected to say, oh, that's so cute. Oh my God. Just because it's considered normal in your culture does not mean that everyone else in the world has to respect it, applaud it, and encourage it. But for some reason, these white liberals have said, no, you know what? You should be proud of that. You people eat in trains. You people sit down on the ground. You people spit everywhere. That's okay. That's their culture. We need to respect other cultures. No, that's disgusting. All right, folks, this Zohran Mamdani guy, now I don't know whether he is a true closeted Islamist or a true Marxist, or above all, just a bullshit artist. Right now, all three of these possibilities are on the table, and all of them are mutually exclusive position because, yeah, you can hate those Marxists, but they're true to their cause. You can also hate Islamists, but they're true to their cause. But if you are a bullshit artist, then anything goes. Now, it is quite possible that he's just a bullshit artist. He's performative. He has discovered the cheat code of winning in politics. He changes his accents frequently. He pretends to be whoever he goes to. He can woo the Islamists and the Muslims, and at the same time, he can woo the liberals, those white woke liberals who just look at everything foreign, and then they say, oh my God, look at this, how cute is this? So look at his new publicity stunt. By the way, he comes from a very privileged background. His father is a professor at Columbia. His mother is a well-renowned Bollywood film director, and he did not grow up as a poor person. He grew up pretty privileged, and I can tell you, I can assure you that what he's doing here is purely performative. It's purely appealing to a certain voter base, just to fool the white liberals that he's seeking votes from. Oh, and let me warn you, what you're about to see might actually gross you out, because it did gross me out. And it has actually started a new debate online, and he actually broke the internet. So he's eating here with his hands.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you
with that fake smile on his face.
have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
Okay, you've seen enough. So why is he doing that? Well, A, as you know, he's an Indian Muslim. And Muslims do like to eat with their hands. Not all of them, because, you know, Muslims have this remarkable ability, just like anyone else, to ignore the bad bits or the disgusting bits and move with the times. So you saw something really gross. Let me read to you something even grosser than that. So the Prophet of Islam said, when you eat, do not wipe your hands till you have licked it. Okay, all right, I'm finger licking. All right, I get it. I have never done that because I just don't like it. Maybe that's just me. But finger licking is a fairly common phenomenon all across different cultures. But here's the next part. Or had it licked by somebody else. I've just eaten this food. Hey, do you want to lick my fingers? It's just, oh my God, you don't know where those fingers have been. Let me give you a bit of an idea. So the man whose fingers you're licking, that's where his fingers have been. Check this out. This is Sahih Bukhari 5068. About marrying several women. That's the chapter. The Prophet used to go around, have sexual intercourse with all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives. There is more. Have a look at the chapter. This is Sahih Muslim 309 chapter. It is permissible for one who is janoob to sleep. Janoob means someone who's just had sex, so he's got bodily fluids all over him. But it is recommended, not obligatory, not mandatory. It is recommended for him to perform wudu, meaning ablution. You know, have you seen the Muslims, how they wash their hands and arms and face? And wash his private parts if he wants to eat, drink, sleep, or have intercourse with one of his other wives. Now, as you know, the Messenger of Allah had 9 wives. Here is Anas reporting it. The Messenger of Allah used to have sexual intercourse with his wives, not wife, with his wives, with a single bath. So he would go to his wife number 1, and then 2, and then 3, all the way up to 9. In some hadiths, it is said that he had 11 wives. Anyway, minor detail, 9/11. Oh, 9/11, what a coincidence. And then he would have a bath afterwards. Imagine the state of those fingers. The only time you actually have to have a bath after having intercourse with your wife is if you've gone to a sex slave. So you can't really go and have sex with a sex slave and then go to your next wife without a bath. So, there is some hygiene there. But anyway, so Mamdani is a Muslim. So he's appealing to his Muslim voter base. But then at the same time, there are a lot of Indians as well who are jumping in his defense because a lot of Indians eat with their hands. And they have a problem with me for criticizing this. Look, I don't care whether you eat with your hands or your feet or at the back of someone's ass. I don't care about that. My problem is I also, unfortunately, share my background with you. And let me tell you, not all of us grew up eating with our own hands. And some of us actually have OCDs. I don't even eat chicken wings because I don't like to get my hands greasy. Look at this Indian. He's saying your wife is South Indian because he attacked Mamdani, and rightly so. Your wife is South Indian. She grew up eating rice with her hands. You're literally marrying into it. So anyway, so her wife responded. She said, I did not grow up eating rice with my hands and have always used a fork. I was born in America. I'm a Christian MAGA patriot. My father's extended family lives in India, and they're also Christian, and they use forks too. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then all of a sudden, all hand eaters started attacking her because they hate MAGA. They're like, oh, she must be appeasing her MAGA crowd. No, maybe she's disgusted by the fact that everyone thinks that she eats with her hands as though she's some uncivilized, uncouth, backward person. No, she's not. And I'm also offended by that because, yes, I do come from Punjab. I do come from the region where a lot of people piss in the street, they spit in the streets, they ride donkey carts. That doesn't mean that all of us do that or all of us grew up doing that. And no, you want to feel proud of that? No, there's nothing to be proud of your backwardness. Your ancestors ate with their hands because they could not afford cutlery. Now you can afford cutlery. So start using utensils. Again, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't expect the rest of us to look at you and say, oh my God, oh, look how cute that is. That is what those purple-haired woke white liberals do. And we have seen the result of that. We have seen how when primitive, backward, uncivilized practices are encouraged, they don't go down, they become mainstream. And that's what the wokes have done. Anyway, so people started attacking her and they said, oh, look at your parents, they're eating with their hands. Okay, so let me give you a bit of a guide on what you can eat with your hands and what you don't eat with your hands because there is an alternative, i.e. knife and fork. So people are saying, oh, you eat burgers with your hands, you eat fries with your hands, you eat tacos with your hands. Yes, because you can't eat them with knife and fork or a spoon. And secondly, you hold a burger from the outside where the bun is dry. Eating a burger with a dry bun on top is different from eating the insides of a burger that is juicy and saucy and messy, and then you pull it out and then you start eating it, and your hands are messy. There's a difference between eating a dry burger or dry fries and rice drenched in curry. And look at his hands. Do you see his hands? They're all sticky. There's rice sticking everywhere. And we are expected to say, oh, that's so cute. Oh, my God. And when in reality, we all know that he doesn't eat with his hands. Look at this. This is another uncivilized thing to do. You shouldn't be eating in public transport because you're stinking up the whole place. Nobody wants to smell that. He's eating with knife and fork with his fake smile again. So it's all performative. It's all bullshit. And some Indians are attacking me. Again, as I said, I don't care whether you eat with your hands or your feet. I don't care. But just don't expect the rest of us to say, oh, that's amazing. Just because it's considered normal in your culture does not mean that everyone else in the world has to respect it, applaud it, and encourage it. Let me ask you Indians, why do you get grossed out when we tell you that Muslims marry their cousins? Why do you get grossed out? It's their culture. Why don't you respect it? See, every culture has this complex where they think that whatever practice or tradition that they have, no matter how primitive or uncivilized it might look to the outside world, they should respect it. Zohran Mamdani comes from India. Yeah, a lot of people in India and Pakistan eat with their hands, but not everyone does. You see, I think we are now starting to enter this era, which is post-political correctness. If a white person acts like an uncivilized brat. We call them what? Chavs, bogans, rednecks, whatever. And rightly so. You know why? Because that forces them to behave in a civilized manner. I'll tell you what, in India and Pakistan, we also call uncivilized people as pendus. Have some manners. If you've been invited to a decent gathering, don't eat with your freaking hands. Don't sit on the ground. Don't spit everywhere. Don't piss against the wall. We call them pendus, uncivilized, uncouth. But for some reason, these white liberals have said, no, you know what? You should be proud of that. You people eat in trains. You people sit down on the ground. You people spit everywhere. That's okay. That's their culture. We need to respect other cultures. No, that's disgusting. And I don't want to be a part of that. And I'm going to shame you. I don't care how many of you butthurt people actually attack me over it. Look at this Indian guy. He goes to me, yeah, do what the Westerners do because that's the way to do things. And also, who gives a fuck what you think this is disgusting or not? You ain't the one feeding me. This guy, look at him. This doesn't look like India. He's probably somewhere in a Western country, wearing Western clothes, using Western invention, that is camera. But all of these people suffer from their brown inferiority complex. All of them. Not all of them, sorry. Obviously, there are a lot of people who are speaking in my defense. This is a problem with these people, whether you are a Muslim or an Indian. And this is why I say these people suffer from the brown inferiority complex, because I'm sorry, the West is the greatest civilization ever created by mankind. The West took us to the moon. They gave us skyscrapers. Everything that you look around you was built by Westerners. Yes, you had a great civilization once. The Egyptians had it, the Persians had it, the Indians had it, the Chinese had it, the Greeks and Romans had it. But now, the civilization that came out of Western Europe, they were the first ones to industrialize. Now, I don't care the reasons why they did it, how they managed to do it. I'm not getting into it. But it's a barefaced reality. The West has shaped our modern world. Now, I don't see it through the lens of white people, black people. I don't see it like that. I see it as human progress. I see it as, you know what? It has made my life better. The mere fact that we can feed almost 7 billion people on Earth is because of the advancements in agriculture invented by Westerners. I see no shame in that. I don't feel the need to say, oh, by the way, Indians did something amazing too. And you don't need to say that either, just because you happen to be an Indian. Just like Muslims, everywhere you go, Muslims, you know what Muslims say all the time? But we invented algebra. Algorithm is an Arabic invention. And the more they lie, the more they get exposed. Because now, let me play this video to you. Listen to this clown. Remember this guy? White, 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 everything is white. This is inferiority complex. They just want to tell the world that, hey, you know, white people, you're not the only great ones. Look, we did something amazing too, so why don't you pick us? Again, I'm a brown man. I don't care. I don't feel the need that I should be proud of my brown heritage, or even if I was a white man, then I should be proud of my white heritage. Why? I should be proud of my own accomplishments. I will be proud of myself. I would be able to tell my children that, hey, you should be proud of your daddy because daddy was successful in whatever mission he had undertaken. Why should I be proud if some ancient Indian invented something? Why? If I was a white man, why should I be proud of Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton was brilliant, yes, but why should I be proud of that? So listen to me. This is inferiority complex.
Here's why Muslims suck. We invented algebra.
Wrong. No one person or group invented algebra.
Exactly.
It developed over centuries and was a multi-civilizational effort where different cultures built on the work of their predecessors, adding new ideas and techniques. There were contributions from ancient Greece with figures like Diophantus, or from 7th century India with the great mathematician Brahmagupta. And there were Islamic scholars like Al-Khwarizmi, who was hugely influential. He formalized and expanded algebra into a coherent discipline, pushing it forward. And the name algebra itself comes from the Arabic language, but it can hardly be said to be a Muslim invention. But wait, there's more.
If you ever survived surgery or have been prescribed antibiotics, then that's on us too.
Incredible that a Scottish nationalist is erasing perhaps the greatest Scottish achievement ever, because the man you can thank
Because he doesn't see himself as a Scottish.
for antibiotics is a Scotsman, Alexander Fleming. His discovery of penicillin, the world's first true antibiotic, has been described as the greatest single victory ever achieved over a disease and has saved hundreds of millions of lives.
Anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson said something really smart. He said, every discovery that science makes today It's the subtext of the next discovery. Even when I say that the West had this industrial revolution and Isaac Newton and Galileo, all these people did amazing things, they also borrowed it from their ancestors. Even Isaac Newton said that we walk on the shoulders of giants. Instead of being proud of your culture, your brown culture, hey, look, we eat with our hands, or your white culture that, hey, look, we took you to the moon, just be proud of being a fucking human being. I was thinking that we are one little message from aliens away. Just one little fucking message. All of you browns and blacks and whites and yellows and greens, all of you will become, we got to get rid of them somehow. Just one. I think Ronald Reagan said something similar, but anyway, great minds think alike. So let's come back to this Mamdani guy. So he is performative. We still don't know whether he's an Islamist or a Marxist or just a bullshit artist, but I think we will find out eventually.